Hello, welcome back to my channel. I like to start off the morning with a glass of lemon water. I drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and that allows for it to help the liver to detox the body. And I give it about 30 minutes to settle in and do its work before I eat breakfast. This is my absolute favorite way to eat oatmeal. The flavors are amazing and it's super nutritious. First, I take some oats and I add a little almond milk, and then I add some organic unsweetened coconut flakes. It gives it a great texture, and a fun fact about coconut, it actually enhances the power of anything it touches. So if you're eating foods that have healing properties, it supercharges them and it makes them extra beneficial for your body. For flavor, I add a touch of cinnamon and a little vanilla extract, and of course my favorite, raw organic honey. Raw honey contains phytochemicals that protect you from radiation damage and cancers, and it helps your body to fight infectious disease. Next, I'm adding organic wild blueberries. They're the most powerful antioxidant on the planet. They're the most potent prebiotic, and when wildfires occur, they're actually the only plant that will grow back stronger. So when you freeze them, they actually contain all of their nutrients because of that resilience, and they can literally analyze your health and target areas that you need the most help when you eat them. So they're actually an intelligent fruit, and it's one of the most healing things you can eat. I get mine from Trader Joe's frozen section, and they're about $3 a bag. Make sure you check out Trader Joe's because the other places I've been to, they can be up to $8 to $9 a bag. So this will help you save a little money and get those healing properties into your diet. For creaminess, I like to add a little bit of coconut yogurt, and I also add some chia seeds for a bit of a crunch. And then it's complete. It's so good. You guys are gonna love it. You should tag me if you make it so I can see your amazing oatmeals. Ginger tea is my favorite tea ever. It's so spicy, it has so much flavor, and I swear I have like 5 cups a day. It's great with almond milk if you want something a little more creamy, and sometimes I even add a bag of chai tea in there and a little honey. It calms an upset stomach and it helps to relieve tension in the body. If I have any sort of digestion issue, this always cures it and just makes me feel so much better. So if you get the same brand of tea, this yogi tea, it always has a little message in there, and I just love reading those all throughout the day. It kind of picks up your spirit. For lunch, these cucumber dill wraps are so addicting. The cucumber has a cooling and hydrating property, so it helps you both mentally and physically. So if you suffer from anger issues, they really live up to the saying, cool as a cucumber. Or if you're suffering from high temperatures in the body, maybe a fever, then it's really going to help to cool you down and give you that hydration that you need. I dice the cucumbers lengthwise so they fit nicely into the tortilla, and then afterwards I dice up some red onion to sprinkle on top. And then I make sure to separate the dill from the stem, and then I go ahead and chop that pretty coarsely as well. And then after all the veggies are prepped, then I get my tortilla out. And first I like to spread some roasted garlic hummus just to give it extra flavor and a little creamy texture. And then I'm adding in those sliced cucumbers. I'm sprinkling on top the red onion. I like to put extra red onion because onion is also super beneficial for the body. And then I'm going in with that chopped dill, so good. And then also some shredded carrot. And then just for fun, add a little extra dill on top just to make it pretty. And then as a finishing touch, I added just a little bit of lemon, and this was so good. I cannot wait to make this again. I'm literally about to make it right now after I finish editing. For dinner, I made a spicy eggplant basil dish with some basmati rice. And first I chopped up the eggplant, and made sure to roast them with a little olive oil and sea salt. I really don't like mushy eggplant, so this is a great way to dry them out first and give them a little roasted flavor and some crispy texture. I set the oven for about 400 degrees, and then I do that for maybe like 20 to 25 minutes. And if you feel like it's still not crispy enough or not browning enough, then you can up the temperature to broil and do that for about 3 minutes, and then you'll get that nice brown, those nice brown crispy edges. I'm also notorious for burning and cutting myself while I'm cooking. Next up, I'm just chopping some red bell pepper, and I like to make these in kind of medium triangle sizes just so they're not super mushy once you go to saute them. And then I also chopped up some white onion, and I did this the long way, so they're kind of like skinny strips. I don't know how to explain that, but I don't dice them too small either, for the same reason that I don't like mushy vegetables, so they kind of maintain their crispy texture. Now I'm just taking the basil leaf off of the stalk, and then I dice that up just a little bit. For rice, I always use the same ratio. For every cup of rice, I use 1.25 cups of water. And then I always like to add in a couple bay leaves just to give it flavor, and instead of using salt. And then I bring everything to a boil and put the lid on and let that simmer for about 18 minutes. Just make sure that once you put the lid on that you turn the temperature down. Here I'm sauteing the veggies. I'm starting off with a little olive oil and adding in the onion. For seasoning, I like to use garlic powder, red pepper flakes, and lots of pepper. And I also, of course, put a little bit of sea salt as well. And then once I feel like the onions are becoming fragrant, that's when I go ahead and I add the red peppers in. And I just stir those around until they become nice and browned, but obviously still crunchy because you guys know how I am. And then I go ahead and add the roasted eggplant, and you can see it's nice and browned and ready to go. After I've stirred everything together, I go in with a little sweet chili sauce just to give it a nice saucy texture. And then once the flavors are all mixed together, I turn off the heat, and then I add in my fresh basil and stir that around. You want to make sure that the heat is off, otherwise you will cook the flavor out of the basil. And here is the finished meal. It is so good, and I was feeling a little sad for Iggy. He was looking like he was missing out on the action, so I gave him his favorite treat, and he obviously did not know how to act because he's Iggy. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon in my next one.
Surfing every day, surfing all my life, surfing in the dark, surfing till the light, surfing on the stage, they won't dim my light, surfing. It's only be hitting with the assist. Young soldiers at the front line, we don't miss. Got the jump shot down, I'm flicking my wrist. When the stakes change, I'ma flip.